Hey, it's Emily and this is my May TBR. So if you didn't know, in May, two of my lovely friends over on BookTube, they are hosting readathons throughout the month of May. They're both month-long readathons and I definitely want to take part in both of them. One of them is May TBR Be With You, which is hosted by Becca, and the other is the Vampire Diaries Readathon Round 2, hosted by Chloe. I'll leave both of them down below if you want to check it out. So this is actually my second time filming this. I tried filming it last night and then it got too dark and then I just didn't like the way it looked. So I want to refilm as much as I can today without pulling different prompts. So the way I'm going to do this, for Becca's readathon, I will be playing the TBR game that she created and I'll be doing 4 roles for that. And then I'm going to be using my TBR jar to pick out 4 more prompts that hopefully will help me fill some more of the Vampire Diaries readathon prompts. I hope this is making sense. So I apologise if the editing of this is horrendous because I'm going to be flicking between the roles and picking the planets last night for the TBR game, and then I'm going to talk about the books now. So we're going to try some fun technology now. I'm going to try and, because I don't have a printer, I was going to screen record Becca's board and just move my mouse along. We'll see how this goes because this could be interesting. I have my dice that I use for my old TBR game. So what I think we're going to do is I'm going to roll the dice onto my notebook where I've got it ready. And then I'll screen record, move my mouse along. Oh, we need to pick the planets first. We need to pick the planets. Okay, 1 second. I feel like this is going to be a very chaotic TBR video. D10 is apparently a watch. Let's just do this, right? Okay, let's find out what planet we're going to first. I'm going to do 4 planets and try and do it in 8 rolls. So like Becca, I'm going to double the number. Let's see. So, okay, first planet. Doesn't want to work. Love that for me. Hello. 8. Okay, so 8 first, which is Tatooine. Then we're off to number 2. Oh, not too far. Coruscant. Okay, roll 3. 8 again. Back to Tatooine. Okay, we're going to roll once more. I just realised I'm not wearing my Star Wars top like I wanted to, but that's fine. I'll put it on in a second. Last roll. 10. That's a 0, isn't it? That doesn't count. Roll again. 8 again. Can't stay in the same place. Really likes its 8s. 1. To Exegol. That's going to be a challenge. Let's go for it. There we go. I think that's better, isn't it? Okay, so let's do the rolling and find out what our prompts are. I didn't even roll to find out where I'm starting. Let's do that as well. Let's get my D10 out again. 5. So we're starting from Scarif. So I think I'm screen recording. I think that's working. So we're starting on Scarif. Let's just put my mouse there. Let's go for the blue to match my top. Okay, so roll number 1. That's a 4 and a 3. So that's 7. Where are we heading? Tatooine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, nearly there already. Roll number 2. Oh my god. That is another 7, I promise. That's a 3 and a 4 again. So 7. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and we're already on Tatooine. Let's find out the prompt. So I'm going to do it the way that Becca said in her video, that you can just pick whatever prompt. So we have 4 to choose from for Tatooine, and looking at it, I'm tempted to go for a book with a twist or a mood read. I think I'm going to go with a mood read because I have been feeling more like mood ready recently. I feel like that's a cop-out answer, but I'm going to go for a mood read. And then because we only moved 3 out of the 7, I can move 4 more places on my way to Coruscant. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was roll 2. Now on to roll 3. We'll go 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll number 4. It's a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Roll number 5. It's a double. Straight to Coruscant. Okay, so looking at the prompt, says 7. I quite like the look of a short book. Dual perspective, I quite like that in a book. A book with a heist/criminal activity. That sounds like it's up my alley. A non-human main character, probably not. So one of the books that I definitely want to read in May is You Love Me, which is the 3rd book in the You series, which I think that counts as criminal activity because Joe murders everyone. So I think we're going to go with Han Solo, a book with a heist / criminal activity, because Joe does like to kill everyone. I'm sorry, Becca, I feel like I'm cheating or like rigging this game. I promise I'm just trying to make it work for me. I just wanted to participate. So now we need to make our way back to Tatooine. Okay, this is roll number 6. So I don't think we're going to do it. Oh, okay, well it's a high number. We got a 6 and a 3, so a 9. Let's see how that takes us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, okay. Roll number 7. We're not getting there. Unless these are 2 doubles, we're not finishing it. No, this is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So close. So if I don't get at least 3, then that's 2 random books I'm picking. Okay. At least it's a double. It's actually a double. It's a double 1. I was going to say. Okay. 1, 2, 3. It doesn't matter. I'm straight. I'm there. I'm Tatooine. Okay, so going back to the prompts, I feel like it's cheating if I pick mood read again, so I won't pick mood read. Well, I think I'm going to go with the book with a twist because I am in my thriller mood at the minute. So I'm going to go with a book with a twist. So there we have it. And then obviously didn't make it to planet 4, so it was going to be a random number. Because I never made it back to my final planet, which was Exegol, I have my TBR tin. This is nearly every book that I have unread. It was updated as far as like November time, so it hasn't got any of my new books that I've bought recently, but at least it will help me get books off my TBR that have been there for a while. So we're just going to take a random book out for a night like this. Okay, we're going to go for this one. Oh, okay, so I pulled a Caribbean mystery. I was kind of planning on reading the Miss Marples in order, but then at the end of the day it doesn't actually matter, really, does it? My friend borrowed it in Menorca, and so the first few pages have just like come out, I think because it melted in the sun. This is a Miss Marple, a Caribbean mystery. I don't really know much else about it apart from that, but I guess this is going to help bring the summery spring vibes this month. I am going to Madrid in May, so maybe I could take it with me as a kind of travel on the plane book. So that's actually not a bad pick. Out of all the 300 and something books that could have been picked, that's alright. Because I want to torture myself and I am reading a lot at the minute, the TBR jar's coming out and we're going to pick 4 out, so my TBR officially is going to be 8 books long. But as I'm taking part in Chloe's Vampire Diaries readathon, which has 15 prompts, which hopefully I can tick off the majority of them, I feel like I'm going to be reading loads in May anyway. I do have 2 trips, one for work where I probably won't read much, and going to Madrid to see a friend, but apart from that I should be able to read a fair amount. So I'm going to pick 4 prompts out of this, and yeah, let's just go for it. Let's find out. So let's go. There are some new prompts in here that I added. We're going to dig around. There's so many in here that when I shake it, it doesn't really shuffle much. I'm gonna kind of mix it around with my fingers, and then we'll pick one out in a minute once. God, they're all flying out. I've overfilled this jar. First prompt, let's just dig in, and I'm gonna pick this one. So you have a purpley lilac-y one. Let's have a look. Okay, it is a middle grade. Prompt number 2. Let's have a look. Let's give it another big old mix. Shuffle it a bit. Let's go for right down at the bottom for this next one. This one. Okay, so we have a thin orange one, which I think means it's one of the new ones. Let's have a look. Okay. A debut novel. That's not even doing anything. Let's do another... No, just shoving my hand in here. Let's do another twisty, shaky bit. Right. Let's pick a third prompt. This one. It's another orange, which is red on. So because it is getting darker, I am just going to pull this last 4th and final prompt, and then I'll get back to you tomorrow with the books that I've decided to pick for each prompt. Okay, so final prompt. this colour, pinky reddy. Okay, let's have a look. A hyped book. I'll come back to you tomorrow with the same top on and we'll talk about what books I want to read in May. So as you just saw, the first prompt that I went with was mood read, and I am literally going to pick a complete mood read. However, I have a feeling it's going to be the Twyford Code because it fits one of the prompts for Chloe's readathon, and I got that audio book the other day and I've kind of been wanting to read it, so I have a feeling it's going to be that, but there's nothing set in stone. So the next prompt that I got was a book that contains a heist or criminal activity, and for that I've decided to pick You Love Me by Caroline Kepnes. If you know the You series, then you'll know that Jo definitely commits criminal activity or commits crimes. This is book 3 in the series. I thought it was a trilogy, turns out there's 4. This is written in second person, so I'm looking forward to being like creeped out. But he goes off to the Pacific Northwest. I think this is different to the TV show. I think the TV show has developed differently. But I am looking forward to being back inside Jo's mind. So that's the first book I'm picking for my official May TBR. Then the next roll, as you just saw, gave me a book with a twist, or that's the prompt that I picked. And for that I've picked The Serial Killer's Wife by Alice Hunter. This is Chloe's Patreon book club pick for the month, and I'm very excited to read this because she also gave this to me for Christmas. So it's very fitting that I take part and read it in May. But it is a thriller, and so I'm expecting there'll be some twists along the way. Then, as you saw, I picked a random book because I didn't make it to the final planet, and that gave me A Caribbean Mystery by Agatha Christie. This is probably one of the nicer ones that it could have picked because it is a nice short read. This is a Miss Marple book, and I feel like it's going to bring summery vibes because spring is still struggling to spring. But I'm excited to continue reading Miss Marple. And so last night the first prompt that I pulled out my TBR jar was middle grade, and for that I decided to pick The Montgomery Murder. It's very crime heavy this month, I must say. I promise there are some more coming. More genres coming, I mean. This is a middle grade murder mystery series. I saw the first 3 in a charity shop and just bought them and haven't read them yet. So the font is like huge on the pages. So it should be a quick read, but this is a historical murder mystery, I believe. I don't really know much else about it. Montgomery is dead, and I think these kids investigate it. I don't know how many are in this series, but I own the first 3, and look at me starting more series this month. Great. Then the next prompt I pulled was a debut novel, and for that I've picked If I Can't Have You by Charlotte Levin. I don't know if I'll want to read this straight after this or near each other, but this I believe is like the female version of You, as in it's following a female character that's obsessed with a guy. So I'm intrigued to see how they differ, but I got the audiobook the other day because it was in the 2-for-1 sale and I wanted another book and this just happened to be in it, so I picked it up. Because I didn't know you could use your credits on the 2-for-1 sale. I thought you still had to buy them. But yeah, I can't wait to see how this is different from You and if I'll still like it as much as I like the You series. Then we have Red on cover, and for that I have decided to reread Burn by Patrick Ness. I've been wanting to reread this for so long because in my head, I read it during 2020 like lockdown. In my head this is like one of my favourite books on this planet. I loved it. It was such an easy 5 stars and it's my favourite Patrick Ness book. So I'm kind of scared to read it again. But I kind of just want to see if I still love it again, and I did cry reading it the first time, so I want to see if I'm going to cry again, and it has red on the cover. We're going with that. And then finally, as you just saw, I got Hyped book, and for that I've decided to pick up The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. This has been my TBR for a long time, and it's Rachel's pick for my 12 from 12 this year, and as I am a little bit behind on my reading for that, it fit perfectly. I thought I have to pick this. This has been doing its rounds on BookTube, so it's about time I see what it's all about. I know Rachel absolutely loves it, but that's the book that I'm picking for that. So now I'm going to match all these books to the Vampire Diaries prompts. So now onto the Vampire Diaries readathon. I'm just going to go through the prompts that I've picked. If you didn't know, the Vampire Diaries readathon is hosted by Chloe and it has 15 prompts throughout the month. These 7 books I've assigned to 7 different of those prompts, and I'll run through them quickly now. So the prompt for Elena is a book with a lot of attention, and I've decided to pick The Dead Romantics. Then for Caroline, it's to read a book with a strong female character, and I've picked A Caribbean Mystery by Agatha Christie because of Miss Marple. Then we have Matt, which is to read a book with human main characters, and I have picked If I Can't Have You And then for Jeremy is to continue a series, and I've picked You Love Me by Caroline Kepnes. Then we have Alaric, which is to read a book with a historical element, and I have picked The Montgomery Murders. Then we had Sheriff Forbes, and that's to read a book with a mystery in, and I have picked The Serial Killer's Wife by Alice Hunter. Then we have Klaus, which is to read a genre-bending book, and I have picked Burn by Patrick Ness because it is a historical fantasy. So I think that was my most chaotic TBR video ever, so I apologise for that. However, if you did make it to the end, I really do appreciate it. Give some fire emoji if you did make it to the end, because the last book I held up was Burn. I hope it all makes sense. I tried to make this as easy as possible. Please give it a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're new around here, because I really do appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah, I can't wait to see you soon with a brand new video. Bye.